think I
Okay.
accidentally clicked on the wrong cam.
Okay, I'm recording now. So what do you want to show me?
I was gonna show you a stand-up comedy thing, but for some reason it's not showing my face. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
Hold on for a second. Okay, can you see me now?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. This story is dedicated to everyone who hates Vidren. Here we go. Anyway. Hello out there. This is your friend William. I'm going to tell all of you a stand-up comedy joke all about Vidren. And this is a shout out to Ronnie. If you don't know who that is, he's the guy recording this, and I want to dedicate him and shout out to him. We love you, buddy.
Yeah, I
So
know, homie.
anyway, here we go. Here we go with the joke. So one time we had a girl named Amanda Rose. She's a nice girl, isn't she? Like she's a cool best friend of ours. So one time we were bored, and all of a sudden she came out of nowhere and she was crying. I said, "Oh, what is like? What's going on?" And then all of a sudden she was crying. She says, "Oh my god, Andrew broke up with me." I was like, "If this is for real, I'm gonna laugh for hours." So I went over to scroll up, and all of a sudden it said on the community tab of Amanda, it said it did broke up, and all of a sudden I end up laughing. I was like, "Oh my god, they broke up." Excuse me for a minute, and I stepped out of my bedroom, and I was in like I'm in a side mirror. It's like, yeah, yes, woo! And then my friends Skylar, we call him Rocco, but when nowadays we call him Skylar,
Hmm.
and Ronnie, and everyone else, we thought this was a joke. Because I thought this wasn't a joke, but I realized it was a joke. But it was real, and we was trying to find a way to yell at Vidra, but Vidra wouldn't even freakingly answer. All everybody was wondering, "Oh my gosh, he didn't answer? That idiot." Oh, he is an idiot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So one time, I wanted to write a song, but the song didn't work out fine to my thoughts. So my friend Ronnie said, "Dude, let's go do something to Ron Vidra." And I said, "Okay." So I got into my car. I got, in, I picked up Skylar first, and then all of a sudden, and I honked the horn loudly, and then Skylar was nowhere to be seen. And I yelled, "Skylar!" In the back, I heard, "Orderly!" No, thank you. And then his mother came out. "Yes, is your son home?" "Let me check." "Skylar, friend of yours is picking you up." "Okay." So he strapped shotgun. Next time when he go pick up Ronnie. And then we saw like Ronnie, he was there to be seen. I knocked on the door and there was no answer. I opened the door and I said, "Ronnie, if you're not in here, and if you're in the nude, I'm gonna smack you." So we was tiptoeing quietly and we heard some talking. I put my ear to the door like this. And there was no answer. So I pounced, knock on the door. Ronnie's like, "Hello?" Then later on, I took an air horn and I snuck behind Ronnie. So I was like, "Ronnie, if you don't start being naked, I'm gonna get you." And then he came out of the door saying, "Not in the nude." And all of a sudden, he was like, "Oh," I'm like, what the fuck is that?" And then later we was laughing at him, and he was in a tank top. And all of a sudden, we just laughed. Then after that, we went to go pick up Michael, and we said, "Okay, that's four of us. Anything else we need?" And or they said, "Bruh, I think that's all we need." So then we got to Vidren's house. Instead of parking by the front doors, hers, instead of the front door of his house, we ended up going behind this big shrub of a bush. There was a big hedge, like a giant picture frame. And I told Skylar, Ronnie, and Michael the plan. And then there's like, yes. And I said, listen, we're going to scare him. And if you have a costume, put that on, put some fake blood on there, and make it easy. And Ronnie said, what costumes? And I said, they're in the back of my trunk. And he was like, okay. Looks in the trunk. Was looking for the costume, and then he found the costume, but it was a Barney dinosaur costume. And then I said, okay, Ronnie, you put that on, and then we'll record you, and he will not recognize you. And Ronnie put on the costume, and he was nervous, and then he said, but what if Vidren sees me? And I said, don't be a baby. And he said, okay, I won't be a baby. And he put on the costume, then he got inside, and then what's still, we had these triangle shape things of teeth, and I painted them white, and then I put them to the Barney costume. Jen Barney had sharp teeth, and we made some evil eyes. And Ronnie said, he's like, I don't think it's good. I said, what? And took off the head. He said, I feel like I'm a dork in this costume. I said, don't worry, man. Barney's a cool dinosaur. He's not that scary. And he said, oh, okay. Put the head back on, and then we snuck quietly. And then he opened the door quietly. It was the back door. The door opens. And all of a sudden, we were tiptoeing quietly like we were in a Scooby-Doo movie. And Ronnie's like, okay, where's the door? And I said, I think it's right here. There it is. It says Brendan Eckerd. Right there. And all of a sudden, Ronnie knocked on the door. And then there was no answer. And I said, no, you imbecile, like this. There was no answer again. I think Vidren had his headphones on. So all of a sudden, I give Ronnie the chainsaw, looked like the one at home. And I said, okay, take this. And he said, okay. And I said, when I say now, bust through the door, grab the chainsaw, and do it, and we'll scare the little crap out of him. So then he was in his position, he was like this, and I was hiding behind the edge of the couch, and I gave him the thumbs up. And then Ronnie busted through the Vidren's door, and then all of a sudden turned the chainsaw on. And then he hollered, Vidren, what do you think of my chainsaw hockey mask? And all of a sudden Vidren screamed like a girl. He's like, and then like, his mother and father were too busy reading magazines, and he said, there's a creepy dinosaur in my room. And then all of a sudden, this was so funny. We went back to my car, and then all of a sudden we panted for a little bit. And then Skylar said, okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to call the YouTube headquarters. Then when they answer, I'll talk quietly, and then we'll do something else. I said, okay. Then all of a sudden, he was calling quietly, and I told Michael and Ron, I said, that was a perfect one, but let's do something more terrifying. So then all of a sudden, and Scott came back with the phone saying, okay, got the calls, and all of a sudden, and then we just like, let's find a way more scarier. And they said, okay. So then all of a sudden, Vidren later heard to know this. So we put on these mascot costumes to sound like a hedgehog. Like, let's see, Skylar was Sonic, Ronnie was Knuckles, Michael was Tails, and I was Amy. There was no Shadow costume. Sorry, Shadow Crow fans. And so later on, there was some car pulled up behind me. I was like, who the heck is that? And all of a sudden, it was Amanda Rose. I was like, oh, it's Amanda Rose. I thought it was somebody else. I thought it was my mother. She's like, what are you guys doing here? And I said, oh, we're just going to scare the snot out of Vidren. She's like, can I join? I said, sure. And then I gave her this camcorder that used to work, but nowadays it doesn't work. But this one does work. It's like a GoPro. So she went to the window where she can record me and my friends in the costume. So we put fake blood on and put some fake evil eyeballs on the characters. And then later, we saw Vidren going back to his room, and I said, okay, listen, ladies, don't make a peep until we say now. And there was silence for a moment, and then when Vidren went back in his room, went back onto the computer, and then all of a sudden, what he didn't notice that there was a security camera above his bedroom. And all of a sudden, this is where it gets more hysterical. Then all of a sudden, Vidren was too busy on the computer thinking of the video to take on this. And then from the costumes, we could hear him talking. He's like, can I do? What can I do? I know, I'm going to make a rent on someone. And he's on one of us, and I think he did Scott at first, I can't even remember. Then all of a sudden, Ronnie whispered, dude, I think he's going to make a rent on Skylar. And I said, he better not be. And then Skylar said, what about me? And I said, dude, he's going to make a rent on you. He said, oh, baloney. He's never going to make a rent on me. And all of a sudden, we got around behind. And like, I was here, then here's Ronnie, here's Michael, here's Skylar. And all of a sudden, we creeped like this and did this pose like we're in a statue. All of a sudden, Vidren got very terrified. Like, well, we talked over the monitor saying, Vidren. And all of a sudden, Vidren was like, get away, I'm trying to make a rant video. And we was like, trying not to laugh. And he said, Vidren, we're going to attack you. If that's Sonic EXE behind me, I will hit him in the head with a baseball bat. And sure enough, he turned around slowly. He was like he was shaking, he was nervous. And then he screamed more like a girl running outside and thinking there was a monster behind. And all of a sudden, he didn't know it. Like we were chasing, we was like, we're gonna get you. Like we kept on going. And then without a doubt, Vidren, on the other hand, was too terrified. He decided to stay with his mom and dad's room for a while, and then just wait till the monsters were gone. We got out of the car. We laughed so hard that we were sweating like idiots. And I looked at this guy and said, bro, that was fun. And he said, yeah, that was a lot of fun. And I said, bro, I'm thirsty. I said, don't worry, we'll get a drink after we do this. And sure enough, woo! There was cops coming. And then all of a sudden, the cops were trying to find Vidren. And then like we were trying not to laugh. And Vidren was like, oh my goodness, we better go to the hotel or something because this house is creepy. So I got into the car and then I told the cops, I said, we'll follow you. Cop said, okay. Woo, woo! And all of a sudden they were chasing Vidren and his family until his dad was drunk. It was like, and hit a tree. And the trunk was broken off. But they tried to escape. They was in a park somewhere. There was hit a tree like about this tall, almost the size of an elephant's butt. And then we got into the car. But first the cops went over to Vidren's parents and Vidren, they said, your son right here is a pathetic man-child. He cheats on a girl and somebody has to tell me and they're on their way on return. And then I pulled up behind the cop. And then I let Skylar, Ronnie, Michael, and I, four of us, were Mo, Larry, Shep, and Curly from the Three Stooges. We explained the entire story. First, Skylar said first he cheated on Amanda Rose, and then made Amanda Rose cry. Michael then said he cheated on her so badly that he did some bad sexual stuff. Then all of a sudden, then Ronnie said, and he needs to go to prison because he is a man-child, a pervert, and much more.
And a pedophile.
Then all of a sudden, I said, if you arrest him and if he's being bad, do something mean and terrible to him. And then Larry Vidren, it was like the scene from Scooby-Doo where a villain would say, and I wouldn't have got away with it too if it hasn't been for you meddling kids. But instead, Vidren just said, and I wouldn't have got away with it too if it wasn't for those meddling idiots. It's all your fault. And then we yelled back and he said, "No, it's your fault, you pervert." And man, out of nowhere, she was on a bike. And she went over to Vidren and gave a big punch like this on the nose. A little bit of blood came out of Vidren's nose saying, "But Amanda." And then Amanda yelled, "Well, too late, Vidren. You're so stupid. I bet you, on the other hand, need to get electrocuted because you hit on me. You're a mental and pervert, and you need to get out of my chest." Sure enough, then out of nowhere, this was going crazy. I then later said, do that, like torment him, like find a way something scary to traumatize Brendan Eckert. And then said, "It's all your fault." And then he was pointing at me, Skylar, Ronnie, Michael, and Amanda. And then later on, we did different ways. Let's see, Skylar kicked them in the butt. Michael would give him a smack on the face right here. I give him the eye like from the Three Stooges. Amanda punched him on the nose, and then Ron kicked him right here in the groin, and he was like, "Oh, that hurt." And then the cop said, "Brendan Eggert, your family is arrested for 95 years, and you're going to stay there until you rot." And then later, Vidren tried not to cry like a baby. And then all of a sudden, the judge, there was this woman came out nowhere saying, "In about 10 seconds, your channel's going to be gone." And then we all screamed, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The channel was gone, and every Google account made by him was also gone. And also a lot of social media stuff. And then Vidren was screaming, but instead, this one part almost looked like that scene from Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark. He melted away completely. Like, first of all, what he didn't know, I clicked on this button I made on the remote control called the suffer seizure button. I clicked on Vidren, on Vidren. And he's like, "Oh," and I said, and then Ronnie said, "And you know what you deserve?" And then Vidren said, "What?" Grabbed my phone, I yelled, "You deserve," and flashing colors came out of nowhere. And then Vidren faded into the ground, and some people took him, and the police took him to jail. And then he said, "I'll be back one of these days after 95 years are up." And then we said, "Sorry, Vidren, you have no YouTube channel, you have no Google channel or anything. Since you're stupid and all, I think you need to stay in prison." Then Ronnie whispered to the cop. He said, if he's being bad to you, make sure he doesn't escape." So then after that, I heard his stomach growl, and I just looked at Ron and I said, "Bro, is your stomach growling?" He said, "Yeah, I'm hungry." And I said, "Okay, let's go get a donair pizza and some subs and drinks." So we got a sharing pizza, and then Amanda Rose didn't join because she had to go home. She was tired. And then after that, we got pizza and subs and then some drinks, and then I took everyone home. As I got home, my mom said, "William, what in the world happened to you?" And then I explained the entire story, and she said, "Oh, that is cool." What do you think of that?
That was awesome. Okay, I'm gonna stop recording now.